Ladies and gentlemen of the present age, permit me, an observer of society's long arc, to speak to you of a curious contradiction, a truth so persistent and yet so neglected that it demands our contemplation. Time, man's most intimate adversary, his most loyal companion, and ultimately his conqueror. In my era, we pursued the sciences with ferocity, dissecting nature to discover its laws. We believed in progress, in the supremacy of rational systems, in the perfection of the species through adaptation and evolution. Yet, despite all our schemes, man remained vexed by one element more elusive than the atom, more eternal than the stars: time. I once remarked, and the phrase still haunts me, time. That which man is always trying to kill, but which ends in killing him. What indeed is more tragic than the sight of humankind waging war against its very frame of existence? How it applied then. In the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution had begun to compress time. The pace of life accelerated. Hours were commodified. People measured their worth not by their depth of thought, but by the efficiency of their output. The working classes were devoured by the machines they operated, and the elite tried to purchase longevity through leisure. But whether rich or poor, industrious or idle, none escaped the steady tick of mortality. Man did not conquer time. He learned only to fear it, to suppress the dread it inspires, to fill it with distraction rather than understanding. How it applies today. Now I gaze upon your modernity, where digital pulses outpace the rhythm of the human heart, and still the war against time continues, perhaps more desperately than ever. You have watches that track your sleep, apps that schedule your thoughts, and feeds that consume your hours while promising connection. You are surrounded by marvels of productivity, and yet constantly whisper, "There isn't enough time." Is it not ironic that even with tools to stretch every second, you find yourselves more enslaved by time than liberated by it? You do not live in time, you race against it, compete with it, curse it, and in so doing you forfeit the very moments meant to be savoured. The paradox of mastery. Man has conquered nature, yes. He has bent steel, split the atom, sent rockets into the heavens. But time remains untouched, immutable, undefeated. And still, man behaves as if he were immortal, procrastinating his purpose, deferring virtue, postponing truth. Why? Because in your effort to kill time, you delay meaning. You anesthetize yourselves with endless novelty, avoiding the simple yet terrifying fact: your time is finite. Advice for today. Permit me then to offer counsel, not as a moralist, but as a fellow thinker. Live in rhythm, not in resistance. Accept time as the context for meaning, not the enemy of progress. Do not chase time, redeem it. Fill your hours not with quantity, but with quality. A single hour of purpose outweighs a week of distraction. Measure your life by depth, not by length. A long life without reflection is emptier than a short one lived consciously. Refuse the tyranny of urgency. Not all things demand your attention. The most important truths speak quietly and wait for those who are still enough to hear them. Remember your mortality, not as doom, but as guidance. Memento mori is not morbid. It is liberating. It teaches you to prioritize, to forgive, to love without delay. My final reflections. Do not seek to kill time. Seek instead to live with it, within it. Let it discipline your desires and awaken your wonder. For time is not merely the context in which life unfolds. It is the very texture of life itself. And when your final hour draws near, may it find you not fearful nor regretful, but thankful. Not for the time you've consumed, but for the meaning you've cultivated. Remember, it is not time that kills. It is our misuse of it that renders it lethal. Use it wisely. Use it humanely. Use it before it uses you.